Welcome to another Monday music lesson with Floyd Music School. In this episode, and many to follow, Jen and her student, Liam, have chosen to share with you Liam's journey into learning the piano. This lesson will allow you, as the audience, to join Liam as he progresses starting at the very beginning. I want to give a special thanks to Liam for allowing us to share his progress with all of you.
Just kidding. Did you know what I was doing? All right, so last week, you and I started book number 2. Fist bump, pal. Really good work. We are in book 2. We started off the book with 3 new notes. Do you remember for your left hand for the bass clef? We have
E, D, and C.
very good. So from this F to this G was where we stopped at the end of book 1. You knew these 10 or so notes. And now we've added 3 new notes in the bass clef. Low C, low D, and low E. That lets your left hand start on this low C, and your right hand put your thumb on middle C. And do you remember what we call this position?
C position.
The C position.
Because it's from the C to the C.
That's right. So each hand has a C, D, E, F, G in each hand, and we call that C position. If we were going to do a scale, which we'll do in the next book, we'll learn scales, this would be the starting point for the C major scale, and it's just the white keys from 1 C back down to the C that we started on. So that's why we call it C position.
I remember when I used to play on these.
We started on the black keys. Do you remember in the very first book, getting our hands up on the piano? A good way to do that was to start by playing on the black keys, just to get everybody thinking about hands up on the piano. Now that you know that nice curve and how to keep your hands up there, we're in a more advanced position called C position.
Yeah.
And together, you and I think we played through Ode to Joy last week. Let's just start there before we learn a new song today. And just nice and even, not too fast. Do you remember? Oh, I told you last week that I was going to show you the bust of Beethoven. This is somebody's idea of what Beethoven looked like back in the 17 and 1800s. I think he got dropped. He has a little piece. Speaking of hair and makeup, I think his hair is missing a little piece, but it's just plaster. So
That's not fun to be if you could just keep it right there. It fits perfect.
you could, it would kind of vibrate. Sometimes I used to have him up on my piano. But happy? Does he look happy? Does he look
Looks
maybe
serious.
like very serious? Yeah, it almost looks like he's not gonna smile. But I think that there's probably a good way for you to make him smile. If you play through his Ode to Joy, I bet there'll be just a little bit of a smile on there. Because this is one of his most beautiful pieces of music, I think. Remember I told you this little song comes from the big, long symphony, number 9.
Is this part like in the orchestra? Do they play this faster?
They play it a little bit faster. It's joy. It's happy. So sometimes if we're happy, we're more quick in our movements and we're moving along more fast. And sometimes when we're sad or disappointed about something, we're a little slower and lower, right? So I think also I mentioned to you in the symphony, this song has words to it. There's usually when it's performed, not only is the orchestra playing, but there's a choir that sings some words in German, because that's what Mr. Beethoven would have spoken. And it's a really beautiful piece of music, and you get to play a little piece of it. So let's get your hands back in C position and count yourself off so you get a nice, even tempo, right? 1,
2, ready, go.
You see? A little bit of a smile there? I think so. I can imagine it. Just a little bit. Would you like to do the duet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
2. Ready, go.
Very nice, Liam. Very good. Now you were playing it nice and forte, just like that little squiggly F told us to do. That was really well done. Nicely done. So this will be a sticker page when we come back to it in a minute. Let's talk about Carmen's tune. Remember, we don't necessarily have on every page a little picture of where your fingers go, because now you are capable, for the most part, of figuring out where your hands are going to be just by looking at the music. What do you notice? This is treble clef, right hand.
Yeah.
What's that first note?
Middle C.
Middle C, and it
My
says,
thumb's going to be here.
yes, put your thumb on middle C.
And then I can see there, it says 5, which means on my other hand, my 5th finger would be on C.
You got it.
So we're back in C position.
We are in C position. And sometimes it's not a bad idea to just make that little mark, so then you don't have to go through the figuring out part again. You can just sit down and play. But something tells me you're going to remember that anyway. All right, we're going to sight read. What do you think about naming the notes before we play them? I know it's kind of the boring part of playing music, but maybe it would help if we say them before you play them. What's this one?
Middle C. Middle C. Middle C. Middle C. G.
Yeah, your thumb's on G.
F. G. C. 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 D. E. C. And I'm in D.
D.
The thing that I like whenever, like I have, like it's hard for me, like when I am going through this.
To remember to drop down there.
It's easy for my brain to do it like with me playing it, but it's hard for me to like remember how to say it.
I know, and I want you to be able to do both, because one of them is important to help with your reading. The other one is the importance of you recognizing where you are and playing it, and they do go together. It's just when we separate them like that, one sometimes is harder than the other. So this, if you look at this and say through this, middle C, middle C, middle C, middle C, drop down to
G, F, G, middle C, D.
Not D. Remember, you had your pinky on, your 5th finger's on C. C position. That's okay. So the other thing, when we say it out loud, did you notice that these first 2 measures of the first line is exactly the same? So it helps us. I think sometimes if we say it or look at it carefully before we play it, we recognize a pattern that might be there that'll make it easier when we do play it, that we saw there was a pattern. Okay? So let's play it. Now that you've said it, let's play it. And you're going to count yourself off in a nice, good, just moderate tempo, right? We're not going to worry about fast or slow right now. 1, 2, ready, go. 2. G. 2. done. That was really good, Liam. Can you tell us how did you know that you were going to do it again? What tells you at the end of the song to play it again?
Because if it's a thick line, a thin line, but also 2 dots on the treble and bass clef, then that means repeat.
You did it. You remembered. No dots.
Yeah, but if it
The end.
says da capo al fine here,
Oh.
or DC al fine, you just need to repeat this part.
And then stop wherever the fine is. That's right. That's a fancier. I think that's a fancier repeat. And we'll have one of those again in a minute. To me, I think that was really good. You want to do the duet for that one too?
Yeah.
We have 2 stickers today.
1, 2, 3.
Here you go. And you can count us off.
1, 2. Ready, go.
Nice counting. Really good work. Good for you, kiddo. So stick around Ode to Joy. Stick around Carmen's tune.
Whoa, that's a big one.
We have some new things to talk about. You ready? Should we
Is
dive
that my
into
whole
it?
thing?
This song right here, it's a whole big long song, isn't it?
Whoa.
Remember, this is book 2, and you're ready for it. So it's all good.
I believe I could probably do it.
I think you can.
Because
Let's
it
talk
looks
about
like
it for a
stuff that
minute.
we've already done.
It's not anything new except for these slurs here.
Oh, those are ties.
Those are not ties because ties are for notes. If you skip over to this page, ties are the slur line attaching one note to the very same note. See, this middle C is tied to itself, to another middle C, so that means we hold it over. These are not all the same note. So the slur underneath notes that are not the same is called legato. There's another Italian word for you. Can you say that?
Legato.
Legato. And it just means we're going to play this smooth. We're not going to leave space between the notes. We're going to make it smoothly connected. If you were playing the clarinet, or if you were singing, you could only take a breath in the music after you finish this phrase. So you would play this, take a breath. Play this, take a quick breath. That's how the phrasing is in music. And you wouldn't pause until after here because these notes go together. These notes go together. So on the piano, when we do that, when we apply that, instead of... You hear how I put space between the notes? Just a little bit. Now listen to legato. Can you hear the difference?
So you keep this one going while you do that.
You don't let the sound overlap, but you almost do. Just as you're getting ready to play the next note,
Just as
You
much as
let
you
that
still
one
hear
up.
it a little bit.
just you let that one up. Now that only works if somebody's using a keyboard that doesn't have weighted keys. It works on an electric keyboard if the keys are heavy, they're weighted, and you actually have to press them to play them. Some keyboards don't have weighted keys, and you won't be able to get that legato feel because it just plays a sound and just lets it go. Anyway, it doesn't keep it nice and smooth. And I can't remember what you're playing on at your house.
I'm pretty sure it's a little bit of fluid.
Can you make it like louder and softer just by how you push on it?
Yeah, like the loudest you can go is like about like that much, but
Yeah.
not like as much as like.
Can't do that loud.
Yeah.
Well, let's practice whenever you're here and we're doing our lesson. We're going to work on playing legato with the keys, the weighted keys that we have here. Now, really important, real quick, we're going to review 3/4 note time. This means there's 3/4 note beats in each measure. And it feels like, I think I told you in the other book, kind of like we're going in a circle. The dance waltz. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Makes it feel like we're going in a circle as we play. And the other important thing is to figure out where your hands are going to go. I know you know this. Take a look at it. What do you think?
The 1 is on treble clef. It would mean that's there, and then
Middle C with your thumb.
yeah, and then there it is. The other hand on 5 on D.
Yeah, see the lower C below middle C is for your 5th finger of your left hand. So we're back in, what do we call this?
C position.
C position. Here we go. Here's C position. Okay, so let's just take it slowly. And we're going to sight read it, and then we've got this week to work on it. Okay, in fact, I can tell you've been doing a good job practicing. You'll be just fine working on this one, even though it's longer than the others that we worked on today. You want to count yourself off. 1, 2, ready. Go. C for 2. That was nice. 2, 3. C. This one's a little harder. You do have to lift it up to play it again. D, D, E, 2, 3. Then that's D for 2. 2. That's D, D, E, E. 2, 3, then. Now look at that. Good, Liam. It's a skip and another skip. Very good. 2, 3. That's E. Skip up to G, back to E. Now do that again and see how smooth you can do it. Nice. That's legato. Good work. Last line. And that's a skip. This is the first time you played both hands together. How cool is that? Do you want to do one at a time and then put them together after that? Try it? Go ahead. Sure. Each one goes down a step.
That's just a step.
See how it's G to F? Now it's a skip to D. Yes, both Ds. And then a step down to C. Let's do that part again. Start on your Gs.
I've never done that before.
So that's okay. I know this is new. So start on your Gs. Step down. 3rd. Skip.
Okay, so.
Very good. And once you are comfortable with how to do both hands at the same time, then go back and practice making it nice and smooth. Okay? This is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you, but I think it's going to be a really good one.
Because what I thought, like, there is that, like, you have to just do that and just hold it for the entire time.
Where?
Like this, since it's, like, connected to this.
Oh, right, because we had a slur line before for ties, to tie notes over. But there's a whole melody right here. It just means, it's like when we're talking. When I talk to you, I don't say, hey, Liam, how's it going?
Yeah.
I might say, hey, Liam, how's it going? So, hey, Liam, how's it going? That's how we phrase things in music. We mark it with those curvy slur lines, we call them. So you're learning legato We're remembering what it feels like to play in 3/4 note time, 3 beats in each measure. And there's one other new thing on here, andantino. Do you remember the word andante in your other book? That walking along,
Yeah.
moving along. Well, andantino, see, it kind of looks like andante, but it has a little different ending to it. Andantino,
It says it's faster than
a little
andante.
slightly faster tempo
So
than
that's-
andante.
That's faster.
So if they wanted it to be a lot faster, what's our word to play
Allegro.
fast? Right, it's not
Is there
allegro.
one faster than allegro?
Oh yeah, there's presto and vivace and yeah. So we'll just do, once we get the notes and the rhythms and the legato part, then we'll worry about what andantino exactly kind of means for a tempo, okay? We're always going to do things on the slow side while we're learning it, just so we can get the timing and the notes and all the fingerings. And now you have to think about playing legato. Then we'll talk about how fast or slow. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. See you next week. Bye.